Hey guys, it's Diane. Welcome to my channel. This video is going to be a little different. I'm going to show you some pictures of my shed home and pictures when I was building it. So I'm going to have to turn the camera on and off. So that's why it's so close to me. Okay. Alright, you saw the old shed in the picture in the thumbnail. Okay, I'm going to show you another picture right now of an old shed that was on my property that I used for storage, and then when I sold my home I had it moved next door to my daughter's backyard. Okay. Okay guys, the very first thing I did when I decided I was going to live in that 14 by 40 shed that had been in my backyard, which I bought at a reduced rate. It was a repossession. I paid $8,000 for it and made payments on it till it was paid for. Okay, first thing I did was Google 14 by 40 floor plan. And there are several, and I picked out the one that suited me best. And then I got some graph paper, and I know you can't see this well, but I'm just going to show you, and then you can, you get the picture. I taped two together. I drew where my walls went. And if you look closely, you can even see I put the furniture in. I measured the furniture and filled in the blocks, which represents 1 foot, to make sure everything was going to fit before I started. And then I got rid of all the furniture that I didn't need. Okay, this shed had that typical front porch. I'll show you in the pictures. And I tore out that front porch all the way back to the windows and the door. Chloe Bowie, don't bark at the car. And tore it out so that my bedroom would be bigger. That's where my bedroom is. So you'll see all of that. It sat there for, well, it was really there 8 months before I moved into it, but I sold my house in December 2019, moved in with my daughter in January 2020. COVID happened. We were all stuck in the house together. Actually, I worked in her garage. I was busy, and I was thankful for it. But anyway, so it sat there till April or May before I could actually hire people to come and start working on it. So I'm going to show you a few pictures now. Okay, the next thing I did, I sprayed the yard where my house was going to sit for termites. And then I had 2 loads of gravel put in the space where my house was going to sit. You know, these shed buildings are sitting on skids, big old piece of wood. I didn't want that sitting on the ground and possibly rotting. So I set it on top of gravel. And then my neighbor, he came over and leveled my house all the way around with blocks and, big 4x4s and things like that. Okay, I put it on the back edge of my daughter's house. And to the side of my daughter's property, is an easement road that goes to the back where there's a house way back there. Okay? So, I used that easement road as my drive. Okay? So I'm going to show you some more pictures. Okay, another reason I tore out the end of the house is I didn't want it to look like a shed. I mean, the way that end was built, you knew it was a shed. Okay, then I got some guys to come and start putting in the windows. Let me tell you about the windows. You probably know this if you've watched other videos. But I found them on Facebook Marketplace. This man was tearing down an old house, but 2 years prior he had put all new windows in the house from Window World. They were terrific windows. I got the whole house for $350. I didn't even use not even half of them, and I sold the other half for $250. So all my windows cost $100. I mean, that's crazy. Okay, so at the same time, there were other men working on the porches. I had a deck built on front, which you can see it's rather large, and I had what I call a coffee porch built at the end of my bedroom that I've never drank coffee out there. I still love the porch. Anyway, I'm going to continue to call it my coffee porch. Okay, look at those pictures. Now, I only have 3 walls on the inside. And if you'll notice in one of the pictures, one of the walls doesn't go all the way up. That allows for air circulation. That is my workroom, which later could be anything, could be a bedroom. They're both the same size on both ends, 2 bedrooms. But that sure helps cooling down the center of the house. If you heard something drip, it's my air conditioner. I paid a lot of money in the spring to have that fixed, and now it's beginning to leak again inside my house, so I have a trash can sitting under it. Be sure that whoever puts in your mini splits knows what they're doing. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, after I got the 3 walls built with studs, then I started insulating. Electricals first before you put the insulation in. So my ex-husband came and did all of my electrical for me. And on that drawing I showed you, I had another copy, and I used a red marker to place where all of my plugs would go and where my light fixtures would go in the center, of this room or whatever, so that he would know where I wanted things. So I thought all that out in my head before I started building it. Okay, then you're going to do the plumbing. My plumbing is centrally located. Of course, I had to get plumbing run from the street up above us all the way down to my home. I don't know what it cost, $400 here. I live in an area where things don't cost an arm and a leg. But, okay, so my sink in my kitchen, through a wall, is my bathroom. So see, they're both very close. So try to keep that in mind. Okay. And after you do the plumbing, then I insulated all the walls, all the ceilings. And also, if you'll look in the pictures, you'll notice I went all the way up to 10 foot. All these buildings have a high ceiling. Why not take advantage of it? You say, well, it's harder to cool and heat and blah, blah, blah. But it opens up the space so much. You don't feel confined. I mean, it really makes 100% difference in the way you feel inside the space. Really. Trust me on that. The walls are sheets of plywood that I think they're thin. Maybe a half inch. Maybe they were thinner than a half inch. I don't remember. But I had them cut into 8-inch strips so that it would kind of resemble shiplap. No, it doesn't look as good as shiplap, but it suits me just fine. Don't you think it looks okay? I think it looks okay. Okay. Now, I forgot to mention that you have to trim out the windows, outside and inside. I just use 1x4s, plain and simple, pine. Very easy, inexpensive. Okay, and then the floor. I used a cheap flooring from Lowe's. Now, underneath the floor, I use that styrofoam that comes in rolls that is made for wood flooring. That insulates my floor as good as I need it to. My house is cool and cozy in the winter. I have no problem. Okay, let's see. Okay, and then of course you have to paint everything. I painted white just so everything would be open. Okay, look at those pictures. Okay, after you get your walls up and painted, you need to put in your mini split, which is what I suggest. I mean, and don't forget to look on eBay for all of your needs before you go somewhere else, because guaranteed they'll be cheaper. My mini splits were, well, I have 2 now, but at the time, one, I paid $450 for my mini split. That's crazy. Okay, now I guess I'm going to show you some pictures just to show you how it all finished out when I first moved in. I'm sorry I don't have more construction pictures, but you know, I was not planning on making videos at the time. Had not ever even crossed my mind. So try to look at how I designated different areas in the same room, because you have to if you're living in a tiny space. I have a section that I call my dining room, my living room, and you'll see my kitchen. I had plenty of space behind my sofa to cook or do whatever. And I might mention while I'm talking about the kitchen, I had a convection oven that I used to begin with, and I kind of got tired of it. It was a microwave convection, and I had to cook on a hot plate. Okay, I got really tired of that. I didn't like dragging that out and it heating up. You know, I just didn't like that at all. It didn't feel safe also. Anyway, later, a couple years later, I actually got rid of that and bought an inexpensive stove that just, you know, plain old stove that I like much, much better. Okay. I think, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, look at those pictures right now. This next picture only shows you how I close myself in at night. I made 3 drapes because I have 3 sliding doors. One in the front, one in the back, and one off my bedroom. And I have a drape with grommets on it. I just pull closed. And by the way, in one video, I'm going to show you how to make a very easy drape. No grommets, no nothing, no pleat. You're gonna love it. It's so simple you can do it yourself. We do them all the time for clients and charge lots of money. I'm going to show you, and I'm also going to show you the simplest Roman shade that you can make. Trust me. Stay tuned for all of that. Okay, here's the picture. Now the bathroom, and I'm not going to say much about the bathroom in this video. The sink mounts on the wall, easy to go by, doesn't take up any space, and it's fine with me. If I need somewhere to set my makeup while I'm getting ready, I just turn around and put it on my washer dryer. No big deal. I live in a tiny space and I accept that fact. The shower, I bought the whole unit from Amazon. I didn't want to mess with any tile or any of that. I was trying to get in as soon as I could into this house. Plus, I probably didn't have the money to do that either. But remember, look on eBay first for the shower stalls. Mine is a rounded glass. It's not glass. It's, I don't know what you call it. What do you call it? Poly, whatever. Anyway, easy to keep clean. I love it. Okay, I've got a whole video about toilets, so we're not going to talk about toilets here. I have some toilet stories, and I will tell you probably next week on that. Okay, look at the bathroom. I can't find. I have no doors in this house. I have 2 barn doors, but no doors. Going into the bedroom and going into the workroom, I have a simple curtain that I pull. I don't want to see in the workroom on the weekend when I'm not working in there. Simple curtain. And in the bedroom, I never pull that. But in case I ever have company and they're sleeping in my bed, they can pull that curtain. Okay. Okay. I have a barn door. This is the picture I'm going to show you. It covers the only closet. I think it's maybe 30 by 30. My only closet. The barn door goes over it and stays over it all the time. But if somebody comes and goes into the bathroom, they can pull that door and close the bathroom. So it serves a double purpose. Okay, I have some more pictures of the outside after it was finished. Ending at the back door with a ramp with a handrail for when I get really, really old. Okay, I talked to you about the sails, the sun sails that are over the deck. I love the way they looked. I had 2 black ones and a white one, or 2 white ones and a black one. I can't remember. But one night there was a storm and one of them came loose and it had a big metal, buckle at the end of one of the corners that came undone, and it was hitting my bedroom window, and I just knew I was going to break it. So I went out in a lightning, thunder, rain, windstorm. It was horrible. In the middle of the night to try to catch that one end of that sail. And I took my drill with me and a long screw. And I screwed that sucker into the side of the porch just to keep it from breaking my window. But I did love them. But we have windstorms that come through here quite often. So I finally got rid of those. Although I love them. Okay, here, look at these pictures. Okay, I hope you enjoyed seeing my ugly shed that I turned into a beautiful home. I could not be happier with my home. Could not be. Remember, toilets next week. I would like for you to subscribe if you're enjoying my channel. If you have getting anything out of them at all, I would appreciate you subscribing, clicking the bell so that you'll be notified when I post another video. And I am painting a bird tomorrow for a client, so I'm going to tape it. So be sure and watch that. If you're interested in painting, I do simple paintings. You may think they look really, really good. I'm not an artist, but I'm going to show you how you can be one. So join me tomorrow. And if you can bear watching any of the ads for me and any other YouTuber that you enjoy, if you can watch them for 30 seconds, we still get paid for them. So try to do that. I have started just pretending that I'm watching TV, and I don't even skip the ads anymore. Give it a try. Thank you so much. And until I see you next time, there's love coming your way. Bye-bye. Oh, bye. I still can't find that button.